Good morning. This is Beta Rider PA out here in beautiful Kentucky. And this is Morning Coffee with HDR. Enjoy the show.
Hey, yes, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Coffee with HDR. Thank you, Mr. Be the Rider PA, for that beautiful intro this week. And this week we are talking here about Coffee with HDR, and this is show number 92 for Saturday, October the 15th, 2022. I'm your host, HDR, live and in living color. And you know what, guys? It's that time of the year again. You have to maybe, you got to put the ball caps away, right? The winter time is coming. It's time for the fedora, right? You got to get the fedora out of the cupboard. This is my winter get up here. Thank you, John M. All right, we're going to go down through here and say the good mornings to everybody as we always do here. And we are going to take off here. Let's get going this morning. Good morning, Ron Kelly. Good morning, Road Glide Andy's out there somewhere in his vehicle, maybe heading to work is my guess. Good morning to Will, Bob Nelson, Chuck Henson, Smyrna Cowboys in the house. Let's see here. Captain Ed, good morning. Dean C., good morning to you. Good morning to HDAV Traveler. Jeff Rice. Pete's 1800's in the house. HDAV Traveler, I got you. Johnny M. I know I'm killing your name right there, but you're from New Zealand, and we welcome you to the United States of America by way of the internet. What an amazing thing as to have people from around the world checking in there at Coffee with HDR. Very, very happy to see you. The Dusty Chronicles, good morning. Good morning, D.A. Bishop. Glad to have you in the house here this morning. Let's see who else. Harley 103, nice lid. Thank you. I love the hat. I've had this for several years, and it's still holding up really, really well. Good morning, Jim Wilson. Be the Rider PA, as I said, good morning to you, and thank you again for that amazing intro with that with Mrs. Be the Rider PA using that French press coffee maker. That's a great thing. Let's see here. Pete's 1800. Andy is heading to Tazewell, left at 5 a.m. Anthony is heading to Tazewell. Anthony is not heading to Tazewell. Is he really? William Buck Brown, good morning to you. Glad you're here from down south. 10 Wingman, good morning to you. Great group of people as always here in the morning for Coffee with HDR. So somebody said, Pete said Anthony, and I didn't look at Instagram this morning. He's heading for Tazewell today? He must be going down to see Mr. G 1963. Have this show on a while in the office. First Saturday working in 3 years. Harley 103, I'm very sad to hear that you are out working today. That's not the best thing, but we got to keep the cash flow rolling, right? Good morning, 10 Wingman. Glad to have you in there. So this week has been a very amazing week, a very challenging week for me so far. Thus far, we are doing things currently at work right now that are out of the norm. This is something we have to do every 5 years. We have to get re-evaluated from the state to make sure that our programs are authentic and that we are doing a good job. So we have been busting butt, and we started this process at the end of last school year. So, it's been a process. It's been a lot of headaches, a lot of just I don't know, pressure. A lot of pressure, right? Everyday life is pressure nowadays. And I often ask everybody this, okay? Now, I look back when I was growing up, back some, a couple years ago when I was a young kid. And I remember mom and dad, they would always take us to my aunt's house, my aunt and uncle's house, every weekend. Or my aunt and uncle would come to our house every weekend, right? And they would drink coffee, they'd play cards, and, we'd all go outside and we'd play in the yard or whatever and do whatever. And it always seemed like mom and dad and my aunts and uncles always had time for each other. They always had time to get together and, kind of hang out, right? Here's my question to everybody out there this morning. Why is it now we have all these modern day advances and nobody has time? There's not time for anything. That's all you hear is, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to, whatever. And you'd think with the modern day advances, we'd have more time, right? I mean, come on. Come on, Mom used to, when I was first growing up years ago, Mom had a wringer washer. So she had to wash the clothes, put them through that wringer, hang them on the line because we didn't have a dryer back then. And she always had time to do anything. She had time to do stuff. So very, very interesting stuff there. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I can barely keep up with all the chores I have. I'd lose my mind if I had to prep for winter also. William Buck Brown. Yeah, we're seeing that too. We're prepping for winter here in the north and getting the bikes ready there. You probably watched my last video I did on, last two videos actually had come out this past week. And one was taking the last ride on the Road Glide Ultra. And that could or could not be sometimes. And I've had a lot of people email me and said, oh, HDR, don't worry about it. There's going to be plenty of good weather yet. Road Glide Andy said, we get 70s in November. And there's times we do. And he's right. But you can't guarantee it. So if you can't guarantee it, what I'm saying is I want to have the bike ready. So what I do is I fill the tank up. I put fuel treatment in the fuel tanks, okay? And that's pretty much my prep, right? Clean the bike really, really well. Put it in the garage. Put it on a battery tender. So that way, if the weather gets colder and colder and colder and colder and colder, my bike is prepared to sit, for the 4 months for winter. 4, 5, 6 months, whatever. Usually 5. Let's see. Honestly, if you go from November to what? November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, you get it. It's 5, 6 months, 7. So now we will get some riding in here in the north. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's days in the middle of winter where if it rains and the roads are a little decent, I will take the motorcycles out and go riding. So that's kind of what I do here. Because with all the social media, we can't prioritize our time. Pete, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Social media, we are so involved with people's lives that we've never been involved with before, right? Pete, it's 1800. That's one thing I could tell you there is, and all of you in here, right? But like Pete, hey, Ty from Tennessee, good morning to you there. Ty, I lived with these guys for like a week, right? And we had more time to interact in that week than we do any other time, right? But where I'm getting at with social media is I would have never known these gentlemen. And that's a bad thing, right? Because these are great people to know. Everybody in this chat room is great people. And the only way we connect is through social media. But if our lives were back cocooned? Yeah, in that cocoon, right? And all we lived in was our house with our families and maybe neighbors, couple neighbors, then you understand that that's probably why you had more time, because now we're interacting with people all over the world. And that's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. It's a great, great thing. But our personal friendships, our personal families, our extended families, right? Pete and Ty, I live with them guys for a week now. They are part of my extended family. I got Bodine, Bronco Ride, Orvis, Jackie, Jackie and Mrs. Jackie. These are all people that I got to really, really be close with. I would even say Mr. G, 1965, Road Glide Andy, Be the Rider PA. These are all part of my extended family, right? So we do keep closer tabs on everybody, and we don't live nowhere near each other. So maybe you're right, Pete. Maybe that's where our time personally has been pulled like in every different direction. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's a lot more to think about, right? So, but that's a very interesting thing there. Somebody was bringing out, who was it? Harley Throttle Juice. Harley Throttle Juice? I think that's right. He was bringing out, and I still have to go watch it, a video. He brought out a video talking about the stresses of YouTube, and everybody knows my stresses and correlations with YouTube, right? And that's a social media platform. And the more I watch a lot of people talk about this stressor. is, and even my kids personally don't have YouTube videos. Okay, they don't make YouTube videos, but they're all on social media. And I watch my daughter, she'll post a pic, and then they'll keep looking at that pic to see how many people liked it, right? Everybody today wants to be liked. We all want to be liked. We all want to be followed. We all want to be cherished by people that we don't even know, and we don't even know why. Okay. I think that's a stressor, right? That's an outside stressor. And Pete, you're right. You put a lot of time into social media because you're looking for that likeness, that people that want to like you, right? And I think that's a big part of it. So my last ride is one before the next. William Buck Brown. Hey, Southern guy. Shh, I don't want to hear that. What are you talking about? Your next ride is one before and after the last ride. Well, good for you though. Good morning, Rocky J. Glad to have you on board there this morning with us. Just going back through here, social media. Pete was saying, I watched it yesterday. Good film. Pete's 1800 said, yeah, and I'm going to go back and watch it right after this show. Good morning to my sister Debbie and Mallory. Mallory is the her youngest or her oldest. Maybe the youngest, because I don't know how old the other ones are in her household. I do, and if Be the Rider PA is listening here, I do have to make a retraction, okay? He calls me after every show, and he screams at me, and we talk, and he yells, and we talk, and he yells, and we talk, and he screams at me some more, and that's okay. I can take it. I got broad shoulders. I can be screamed at. It's all right. Here's my retraction, guys. Just to throw this out there to you, we got enough people viewing right now. We're kind of in midstream here in the broadcast. Is Be the Rider PA, listen closely. Be the Rider PA does not tear his engine down every winter and clean it and look at all the parts, okay? I may have made that up somewhere along the line, and I'll say something like on the broadcast, but and what I'm really saying is about the guy, about Be the Rider PA, Jim, you may watch him, you may not. You probably should check out his YouTube channel. You probably definitely should subscribe. No, wait, not probably definitely, right? That's an oxymoron. You definitely should subscribe to Be the Rider PA. The reason I say that about Jim is, and I told everybody this, and I told him on the phone, I said, dude, just shows you how much respect I have for him for being a motorcyclist, all right? So maybe I stretched the truth a little bit. Does he clean his motorcycle well? Yes. Does he make sure the oil's changed before he puts it away? I'm sure he does. And then he puts it up on a wheel chalk, and he leaves it in his garage, and he kisses it goodnight, and it should sleep for 5 months. So there's my retracted story about Be the Rider PA. And it's funny, this thing. I'm going to show this. Yeah, we good and show that one. Yes, William, HDR won't talk to me in the winter. I watch. That's not true. William Buck Brown. That's what friends are. For it ain't okay. So, yeah. And Pete's 1800. He stretches the truth too, because we do talk. I've texted him. He's had trouble with his Pan America. I happened to be at a dealer, and I texted him. I was like, hey, I said, hey, Pete, this is something that I found. I talked to one of the salespeople, and, maybe this will help you with your Pan America. So I do talk to these guys. We do text back and forth different times, and sometimes not enough. Well, usually, maybe, always not enough. Again, that's another, right? Usually, maybe. It's never enough. We never talk enough to our friends out there, and Bob often says at the end of his video, maybe at every video at the end of it, always check on a friend. And that hits home with me, man, because we have so many friends that we built through the motorcycle community, right? Riding a motorcycle, and all of a sudden you're building friends. It's amazing how many people you can build just by doing motorcycle videos. You don't even have to do YouTube videos. Go to a rally, shake some hands, say hello to people, walk up and say, hey, what do you ride? Maybe they're standing by their motorcycle. Walk over and be like, hey, that is a really cool looking motorcycle, and start talking to them. Next thing you know, you're going to know their name, where they're from, and you may just find you have another friend out there somewhere that likes to do what you like to do. So that's an awesome thing. Yep, buddy checks. Buddy checks. That's what Be the Rider PA calls it. Buddy checks. So yeah, always check on your buddy. Um, it's called artistic flair. Ah, there you go. That's a good one to call it. Ty from Tennessee. Motorcycles can turn strangers into friends, friends into family. And Ty, man, I tell people that. And Ty, I told you that. When we were down in at VAM, and myself and Ty was walking to the store, and we got to talk one on one. And I actually knew, and it's funny now I look back at that. Ty and myself talked. Ty knew the motorcycle I was buying. He knew that I was going to buy a Himalayan before anybody else ever had an inkling that was going to happen. Uh, and I knew that he was looking at the Lowrider ST. As soon as he left VAM, he was going to start finding one so he can order it. And I knew that before. See, but friends and close family members will keep those secrets. I wasn't going to tell anybody, and Ty didn't tell anybody about the Himalayan. We just kept that to ourselves, and we just let that go. So, but that's where you get the real connections, I think, right? The real connections is when you get an Airbnb, and Jim was there also. So myself and Jim went to high school together, right? And we were acquaintances in high school. We weren't like best buddies, I would say we're probably closer now than we were in high school. I would have to say that. I've been to Jim's house. Jim's been to my house. We've worked in each other's garages. We've used each other's tools. So when you use a man's tools, you're connected closer to that man. Remember, you heard that here first. HDR Traveler, I have met great friends just through this show, and that's great. That's what this show has been created for. That's why I'm on show number 92. I've been doing this for a lot of Saturdays. And the reason I created it was not for me, it was to get the chat room to enjoy each other's company. And that has exactly what it turned out to be. Let's see, William Buck Brown, I just might make a video this winter of riding along the beach and up north. William Buck Brown, if you do, make sure you message all of us on Instagram and tell us your videos are live. And we will watch those, because here in the north, we live through our southern motorcycle friends. And we watch you riding, and we pretend that we're riding with you, right along there with you. And that's what it's all about. Building trust along people is a good thing, Smarty Cowboy said. And yeah, I think that's it. I knew you two are transparent as, I know you two are as transparent as glass. Pete's 1800 says, hope we can all to VAM 23 ride the new roads and make new friendships. Be the Rider PA. We are looking forward to VAM 23. Bob Nelson said, I am having lunch today with Motor Rambling. Motor Rambling's a good guy too. Very good guy. His son rides with him now. Nice to see them guys out there riding together, man. I wish my son at some point, sometimes mornings he's on the show here with me, but I wished that my son would be would get a motorcycle and ride with me. Now that I have an extra bike, if he just got his license, he could jump on either the Road Glide. He probably would take the Himalayan because he hasn't really ridden. And I'd rather him take the Himalayan. I'll take the Road Glide, and we can go out riding together on the two bikes. Now we got two bikes in the garage, right? Another reason I was hoping, and the Himalayan might be a little tall for Henry, but it would be nice if Henry would ride, and maybe Henry would ride the Road Glide. I mean, I'll trust him with my Road Glide. Henry's a hell of a motorcycle rider, and I'll take the Himalayan and go ride with Henry again. So these are possibilities. This is one reason why I wanted another motorcycle. So many people has came down on me, good and bad, right? Like, why? Even my sister, right? We talked, and she, once she's seen the bike, she figured it out. But she's like, well, why does anybody need two motorcycles? You can only ride one at a time. Pete's 1800 has three. He can only ride one at a time. But I tell you what, Pete rode all three in one day. That's what it's all about. I rode both of my motorcycles last Wednesday. Was it last Wednesday? Yeah, I took the one motorcycle out. I came back, parked it. I took the other one out, and I came back. So I shared my love between the bikes, right? But what's nice about having those two, it's like, when you were a kid and you had an extra bicycle. Your buddy walked over your house. Maybe he didn't have his bicycle. He could ride your extra bicycle. Well, now, if somebody comes to visit me, maybe they drive her in the car and say, let's take a motorcycle ride. I got helmets. Guys, I got jackets. I got, extra gloves. We can go for a ride together. So that's what it's all about. So um, I hope to get some dates for VAM 23 so I can get some reservations. Smyrna Cowboy said. And Smyrna Cowboy, I would have to tell you when you're making your reservations, listen to this one, guys. Anybody going to VAM, stay at I believe it's the Holiday Inn Express. I think that's the best hotel, decent location for VAM, and you're going to get your money's worth at that hotel. We stayed across the street because I contacted Bob Nelson this past year, and I had to stay one night in a hotel before we went to the Airbnb. And I think we stayed at, I don't know, it wasn't a Best Western. I don't know. It was a lesser hotel than the Holiday Inn. The price was right, and it wasn't a bad room. I didn't have a bad experience there. I can't say that. And they let us party outside, so it wasn't a bad place. So either one of them hotels, but the Holiday Inn Express seems to be the nicer of the three that you have options of. Yeah, three. That's about it. So Ty from Tennessee said, "Heck yeah, y'all come visit me in Tennessee over the winter. I got an extra bike in the garage to ride." And Ty, I might just do that if I can get. Well, Christmas break, I got time off, right? Jump in the car, come down to Tennessee, take a ride with Ty. So, unless he sells his CVO. Remember, Ty does have a CVO for sale. Hit him up on Instagram. It's a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle. And, if you've ever thought or dreamed or had hopes or prayed or whatever about owning a CVO, now's your opportunity. And Ty has that bike built amazingly bad, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle. So check him out. I'm sure he'll make you a really, really sweet deal. Yeah, Pete's 1800 said that it was the Super 8. That's where it was. So I did stay there one night, which wasn't a bad hotel. I can't say it was bad, but I still think the Holiday Inn Express probably had a better breakfast. Yeah. Matter of fact, we didn't have breakfast at our hotel. We had to go out to eat breakfast. That's right. So the Holiday Inn Express guys did have breakfast prepared for them, so I would stay there. But like I said, the Airbnb we had, and there's another Airbnb there owned by the same guy. If you'd like to know about the other one that we stayed in 2021, contact Bronco Ride, and Colin can definitely help you out with that and give you the guy's name. So I'm pretty sure we're going to book the same one we booked this 2022 because we had a garage and we had all the motorcycles in the garage. So that was a cool thing. They were all tucked away. Rocky J said, "Does that mean that you'll let Henry use your toothbrush? A wise person once said, never let anybody ride your bike that you wouldn't let use your toothbrush." Nope, nope. Henry cannot use my toothbrush. Nobody does. Not even Mrs. HDR. And I don't use hers. There's some things in life that are sacred. The toothbrush is a sacred thing. You can't share that. That's nasty, man. That's just nastiness. The real Jackie boy, good morning. We were talking about you earlier already. All good things, of course. All good things. Mike Bodine, good morning. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. Glad to have everybody in there this morning. Everybody's just moving along here, looking at the chat room, following along with everybody. So you have to think a little bit about, and so there's another video came out this week that I shot last Sunday. I think it was last Sunday. I'm pretty sure. And that video was actually my new riding pants, and I don't have them up here. And they came from Helmet House, helmethouse.com, and they're Tour Master pants. So not that I'm advertising at all on the live stream. I'm just talking about my experiences with these pants. And I've never had riding pants, and Pete told me one amazing thing, and I think I put that in the video, that when he was riding with us in the summertime, he had shorts on underneath of his riding pants. When we got somewhere, he could just pop those riding pants off, and he was in comfortable shorts, and he was able to sit and talk with us at the welcome center, at the back of the Dragon Welcome Center. And we get to the house there, we all go in, pull our jeans off, put our shorts on. Pete just took his riding pants off, and he was good to go. So the riding pants, I'm really looking forward to riding with those this summer. Right now, when it's colder out, man, are they warm? Man, they got double liner in there. They got a waterproof liner, and then they got a winter quilted liner also in there. And Pete, you're right, that does make them very, very snug. So with all the liners in there, they're pretty snug. Uh, Maybe I'm just a fat man. I don't know. Judge Norman, good morning. Thanks for coming by here, stopping in.
I'll
Hi.
be right back.
Okay. I found that they are more comfortable than jeans. Pete says. You guys still got lots of parts on back orders. Ty from Tennessee is asking everybody in the chat room here this morning. Do you have a lot of parts on back order? Is there a lot of things you can't get right now? I could tell you one thing. Well, Harley parts, I guess you're talking about, Ty, you might have on back order from Harley Davidson. And the supply chain for me with the Himalayan, I order it and it comes from India. Most of the parts for the Himalayan come from India, and they'll be here normally within 5 days. They have all the stuff on stock that I've been buying. So the one part actually that I'm looking at, the high flow air cleaner, the high flow air cleaner is actually coming out of Amazon. So I mean, and it can ship right from their Amazon distribution center. So I will be live feed on Valley Harley Davidson Facebook today doing a drawing. Be the Rider PA said. So get on Facebook page. You too may, if you go to Valley's Facebook page, Jim's going to be doing a live drawing, and you may be a winner of a Lowrider ST motorcycle. They're giving away a Lowrider ST Harley Davidson at Valley Harley Davidson today. So if you are listening and you're in the local area, get in your cars, get on your motorcycles, get down to Valley before Jim pulls that ticket, right? They're giving away a Lowrider ST. So I just ordered a Mustang seat for my Lowrider, 6 to 8 weeks out. Man, wonder what's up with Mustang seats. No, it's not. Okay, Jim said no, it's not. It's probably you're going to win a T-shirt. Okay, you're going to win a Valley Harley Davidson T-shirt. They're very nice. They're embroidered, and they will even have Harley Davidson like embroidered on the front of it. So, good morning, NH Moose Mountain. Good morning. Thanks for coming in. Hey, better a little bit late than never at all. So it's glad to have you on board here with us this morning. So. But yeah, what's up with Mustang seats? Why are Mustang seats having a problem? That might be the materials that they're using to build the seats. Because Mustang, how can you have a supply chain issue if Mustang builds the seat that they're selling? Usually a supply chain issue is like if I'm selling Mustang seats, maybe I can't get them from the builder, but they build it and they sell it, right? But Custom Dynamics was also having a backlog of light issues. Light supply chain issues, where they couldn't get the LEDs in from China. That's where they come from. The LEDs come from China, and then they they build them, and then they sell them, right? Out of, what is that, guys? North Carolina, I think. So they got backlogged a little bit too. You call there, you talk to them about ordering certain lights or something for your motorcycle, and they're like, well, it could be a 3-month wait for some of them. So if you're looking at something for Custom Dynamics, or if thinking about, I want to put that on this winter when the snow starts flying, guys, call Custom Dynamics and order it now, just in case they don't have it or they have to wait for it. So if you order it now, then you'll be able to get that in, okay? Ty, it took 4 months to get a Mustang seat for your Dyna Lowrider, Judge Norman said. China is another vid close down. It's due to workforce. Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it too, is the workforce issue. Man. Myself and Miss Stacia was actually, when we went away for our anniversary, and I did the show from the hotel, was that last 2 weeks ago. Not last week, I was here. The week before that, I was in a hotel room doing this show. And we went out to dinner. Well, we went out to dinner about like 3 o'clock, right? Because we were out all day touring and everything, seeing everything there was to see. By the time we got, we didn't want to, we can't call it a late lunch. Anyway, it was a dinner regardless. So at 3 o'clock. When we were leaving, they were putting a sign on the door on this restaurant that said, the restaurant is closing at 4 p.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. So we asked John, why would you close at 4? Did you run out of food? And he said, no. There are no workers to come in. And he said the workers they had there that were serving us started at 6 a.m. preparing the foods. and they can't work them, 20 hours a day. So there was nobody else to come in to take over the restaurant, so they had to shut it down. What is it? Where do people work nowadays? Is everybody just YouTube stars? Like all you guys in the side chat, I know all you're YouTube stars, right? You're making your fortunes off of YouTube. So nobody works? Nobody has a traditional job anymore? I don't get it. I don't know where everybody's getting their money from. A friend of mine bought a new Harley low rider in July and is still waiting for the cruise control, Chuck said. Holy cow. I haven't had any problems so far getting Spider accessories. The problem is cash flow, Smart the Cowboy said. Cash will get you every time. Sorry, but I have to go on a poker run this morning in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Mike Bodine, I hope you get a perfect hand and you win the poker run, my friend. Very, very good luck to you. Thanks for stopping by, and definitely ride safe out there. Take care of yourself and ride safe. Ty from Tennessee says, my wife is at Universal Studios in Orlando with our son. I told her I couldn't go because I had to watch Coffee with HDR. And Ty, you have to have priorities, right? And your wife met me before. I know her very well. She understands that you have priorities. Coffee with HDR is pretty important. I mean, you got, if you think about it this way, Universal Studios will be there long after I'm gone. I mean, gone permanently. You can go then because you're a lot younger than I am, Ty. So then you can go to Universal. Thanks for sticking around and watching the channel. Yeah. Anyway, but I've never been to Universal Studios. I would love to go there, but I've never, ever been there. All right, hold on here a second. We're going to play our station identification, and then I'll be right back with you.
Good morning. This is Beta Rider PA out here in beautiful Kentucky. And this is Morning Coffee with HDR. Enjoy the show.
You see that as soon as the guy retires, now he's in Kentucky. He has not been home since he retired. And if you want the address to his home, being it's empty, it is blah, 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 Pennsylvania, zip code, blah, 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 blah. I can't give his address away. I don't even know his address. I could drive there, but I don't know what the address is. But Jim, thank you very much again for the wonderful intro there for Coffee with HDR and just doing our station identification. And we do appreciate you and Mrs. B, the Rider PA, as she was making that beautiful French press coffee there. I still got to use my French press pot and try it. They say the coffee is amazing out of a French press. Let's see here. Be the Rider PA is still waiting on highway pegs when he was ran or mauled down by a crazy cage driver as we were in a beautiful tight formation going down the highway, and this guy tried to kill him. I mean, absolutely tried to kill him. And I told you guys that story, right? Ty jumps off his bike. He comes run over, and he goes to grab the guy by the throat, and Be the Rider PA says, "Stop, Ty! Stop! You can't kill him!" And Ty's like, "He tried to take out my buddy!" And I was trying to get my helmet off, and I was just going to throw it at the guy and bang him in the head, right? Smash his face in. And Ty's going for his throat, and I'm like, oh, man. Ty's a bit of a, he's a duker. He might tell you on his videos, I'm an IT technical professional. But he doesn't tell you that he also used to be a professional, kickboxer. So don't mess with Ty. And that's why we ride with Ty. That's why we keep him. He's the enforcer in our group. So Be the Rider PA didn't let him, kill the guy. But the guy tried to kill Be the Rider PA. And, man, that was a tragic, tragic day for us. But you know what he did? Be the Rider PA said, "Give me a wrench." He fixed his highway peg. He pushed it out the best he could. Pieces of his side lower fairing panel was blown off down the road somewhere, and it was all smashed in and hanging. The speakers were hanging out of the grill, and he said, "I could ride it. Let's go." And we kept on going. Matter of fact, I rode all the way back to Pennsylvania home with him, and he rode just fine. So just saying, that's the kind of guy he is. People think every job should pay a living wage, Whatever happened to the traditional entry level jobs? Not every job is a forever job, the real Jackie Boy says. And you are right. But here's the thing, real Jackie Boy. I got to look at the other side. There's always the flip side to every coin. And this is what really makes me mad, guys. This is what, if you ever wanted to really piss HDR off, do this. Take a guy that's making, I don't know, $10 an hour, right? They say, we got to give him a livable wage, which I believe everybody that's working, you should work, and you should be able to work one job in your life and have enough money to live comfortably, not outside your means, comfortably, okay? Give that guy making $10 an hour, $3 more an hour, raise the cost of everything up a shit high out of the price range of everybody else. Just keep raising the prices, right? But the guy making $27 an hour, don't give him anything more. But now you just took the cost of living up to somebody making $45 an hour. The guy making 27 gets no more. The guy getting 10 gets $13 an hour now. So you can try to bring him up. So you can buy a pack of wieners and maybe some spaghetti and maybe some ragu sauce for a couple dinners. You see what I'm saying? These people at 27, these middle class people that's making a livable wage, as the minimum wage tries to go up, this wage does not move, but the prices go way up here because this guy's not supposed to ever be able to have a livable wage. So minimum wage should never be a livable wage, right? It's not a forever job. So if you take that wage and never give him anything else, he should never be able to reach it. So even though he gets $3 more and they put everything up here, it screws the economy. And anybody out there, any of you financial wizards on this show right now watching can tell me, how in the hell, when you raise the interest rate, how does that help the economy? Let's raise the interest rate. Let's make it so now those young kids can't buy a home, right? Because now the interest rate, 45%. Who's that helping? It's helping the incredibly rich, the people up here. It's not helping anybody down here. This is where the majority of people live. Here, not here. We live here, right? So that's my eye horse for the day. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is either. I want people to be able to live. And guys, you know what? If you don't want fast food workers, quit going to fast food restaurants. Shut them all down. We don't need that. It's a bunch of shit. It just makes a bunch of obese people, right? We're just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And the fat cats at McDonald's, whoever owns McDonald's, that Ronald McDonald clown guy, he's getting richer and richer and richer. We're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. We're dying off. And the cardiologists are going like, yeah, eat more hamburgers. If you don't want them people to have minimum wage jobs, just quit eating at a restaurant. Quit eating out, right? Eat at home. That's where the good food is, at home. Well, I think anyway. Sometimes you buy a package of hamburger and you look at it and you think, that could be kangaroo. I don't know. Could be horse. I don't know what's in there. Think about that. I don't know. Anyway, and not a single one of us had a camera on. Pete said, yeah, when Be the Rider PA hit, none of us, there's 6 of us in that line. None of us had our cameras on. 6 motive loggers. Nobody recorded it. So, but that's how we also protected Ty from the police when Ty grabbed the guy by the throat and he's like, ah! There was no proof. If you don't record it, it didn't happen. So there was no proof. French press is the best coffee. Trying to go back through this. Ty from Tennessee says, too funny. I'm just letting you know, Ty. Professional kickboxer. Let's see. Awesome Harley Davidson rider rant. HAV Traveler, thanks, pal. I appreciate that. I just get really worked up about economy stuff. I think it's total bullshit. We should go back to when I was a young man. My dad said when he first started working. Now my dad passed away at 72. I think so, I'm not positive, but anyway, so he was older, right? When he started working, he said he was making like $1 an hour at the mill, $1 an hour, right? And I remember Mom and Dad used to come home in the car, the big DeSotas with the big trunk. It was packed full of grocery bags. They never wanted for anything they couldn't provide to us. And he made $1 an hour. Hell, today people are making $45 an hour and can't fill their gas tank up. And we have a problem in this country, right? I don't know what it is, but, I say, I don't know what I say anymore. I just sit back and laugh. I'm still trying to figure out how to get $10 per hour job, Bob says. Bob Nelson says. Yeah, and Bob, I think you're okay. I think you'll be just fine. Hey, Bob, I heard also Social Security is getting a raise. There you go. My mother used to hate Social Security raises. You know why? She lived in an apartment building, a high rise for senior citizens. Every time the senior citizens got their Social Security raised by $5 or $10, their rent went up by $15. What the hell? Does the government not watch these places that they paid to provide? Because it was government loans that paid to put senior high rises up. And then there's people that own the senior high rise screw the very senior citizens that the government thinks they're trying to help because there's no checks and balances along the way, right? So it's just hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's a crime. It's criminal. Criminal. And I don't know what the answer is. You know, whatever politician you have thinking in your head right now that you're going to vote for, you think they're going to fix it, just don't even vote. Forget the vote. They're not going to fix it. They're lying to you. They're making you believe something that's unreachable. It's unattainable. How many people have you ever seen take the presidency of the United States and I'm going to do this, 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 and this? They get in, they're like, you can't do that. And they're like, oh, shit, well, I just won an election based on those 5 things, and I can't do it because there's a government decision not allowed to do that. So I don't know. If anybody ever figures it out, please hit me up. Call me on the phone, man. We'll talk for hours about this. Who put the quarter HDR's jukebox piece says, wow, I didn't mean to press the HDR button, but I enjoyed it. Hey, guys, I'm sorry I go off on rants like that. This is just stuff that I believe in, stuff that, you know, is happening. You guys see it in the world. I mean, you're living it, right? We go to the store now, man. We get like 2 bags of something for what we used to buy 6 bags of groceries for, you know? I'm the type of guy that I look at something, if I don't feel that it's worth the value that they're charging, I put it back on the shelf, man. I might not need it, you know? Anyway, but if you don't vote, you can't complain, Paul said. And Paul, you're right. If you don't vote, you can't complain. But that's not really true. I could bitch about anything. I can't. I complain about anything. It's okay. You can't complain. I know you don't have any clout because you're like, well, I didn't try to change it, right? I'm just saying. But and I do vote. You know where I do vote for? The most thing I like to vote for a lot is our local elections. I don't know if you guys have local politicians. Like we live in a borough, okay, or a township, or so we have the city commissioners over the city or over the county of Washington, county commissioners. But then each borough has little boroughs. And they have their own little elected politicians, right? Those are the people that say, like, this road gets fixed down here, or, you know, maybe the HDRs need a new curb in front of their house because the water's coming over the hill, which they never fixed. We put it in ourselves and paid for it ourselves because they never fixed it. They don't care. They don't live here. That's the stuff I talk about. But I do vote for those. I believe in local politicians, and I believe in when I vote for a local it counts. I don't believe anymore, and shoot me for this one. When I vote for somebody in government, I don't even know if that vote even matters anymore. You know, government officials, man, look in the Congress and Senate, man. Some of them guys are like 90 years old. They don't even know where they're at most days of the week, but they're in there casting laws over us, right? Just because they've been in there for like 70 years. Congress, Senate should all have 4-year terms. 4 years and you're shit gone. And you get 2 terms, just like the president. You'll get 8 total years and you got to go. Because it's old laws. It's old way of thinking. We need young people in there, right? So, don't tell people not to vote. Voting is the only hope we have changed. Rocky J, I'm telling you my philosophies, you know. Go vote. I mean, if you feel that, and that's your constitutional right, go vote. You should vote. Hey, I'm a military guy, guys. I served 12 years in the military, so... You know, you should. That's your constitutional right, you know. Military people fight for our freedoms to vote. I'm just saying I don't know if it's ever going to change anything. Maybe it will. I don't know. But gotta love Angry HDR. Hey, Bronco Ride, good morning, man. How you doing? We're just talking about the economy. I love the economy. Love motorcycles even more, you know. Let's see. But yeah, Rocky J, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to tell anybody I don't tell anybody what to do, Rocky J. These are just my views and my opinions, which usually don't amount to piss. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. So, term limits will never happen, D.A. Bishop said. You're right, because the very people in those offices, guess what? Guess who makes the laws how long they're allowed to stay in office? Yep, congressmen and senators. They're not going to lose their job. Well, yeah, I'll give up my, $1.5 million a year job here in the Senate because I already was here 8 years and I shouldn't be here anymore. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. That's just simply not going to happen. But I don't know. I guarantee one thing though: when the government cannot decide on a budget, and they do that. Remember a few years ago they did that freeze where like people that had state jobs weren't getting paid. Congress and government should not be getting paid either until they fix it. All right, it's not hard. It's not hard to write a budget. Think about that. Good morning, lovely Luella. HDR lost his mind. Vote, vote, vote. We need change right now. Yeah, I'm not saying not to. Don't get me wrong, guys. Believe me, if you're watching this broadcast or if you're watching the extra recording, I'm not telling you not to vote. I'm just giving you my personal opinions. I love voting for local politicians because usually I know the people. I see them on the street, right? So, and even our mayor has a limit that he can run. I think he can only run 2 terms. So he has a limit that he can be here too. So, but yeah, vote. I hope everybody votes. I hope there is a change. I hope they get this crap economy under control. You know, I've been watching, look on YouTube for homelessness. If you really want to sit down, you want to bawl your eyes out and say, and scream at the TV set. And these are guys with GoPros making documentaries of homeless people that have jobs. They go to work every day and they can't afford to get an apartment. Something wrong. Something wrong. I don't know what it is. Please start a politics channel. This is your YouTube gold. Ty says, nah, I don't think I need a political channel, Ty. I'm a teacher, man. I like teaching children, you know what I mean? And I enjoy that part of my job. And just to be purely transparent, I do tell my kids every election, hey, when they're turning 18, get out there and vote. Vote for what you believe in, whoever it is. You know, if it's the crappy guy, if it's the good guy, don't let anybody interfere with your beliefs. And go cast your vote and see what happens, right? See if you can get him in the office. So we've had some real winners, but hey, maybe Lincoln was the last good president. I don't know. Did I just say that? I don't know. Hey, anyway, let's move on a little bit there. But anyway, it's been a great time here this morning. I mean, we are talking about the politicians should not have special retirement health care either. Chuck, you're right. They do. So all senators, all Congress, I don't know local government. I don't know how that works, but I know Senate and Congress, when they retire, they keep their full health care benefits till the day they die. Okay? Why? Guys, they created Medicare. They fund Medicare. Don't they trust Medicare? Just saying. Oh, well. Hey, I don't know. I vote on who I believe to do the best job. Party lines, gender, color is irrelevant. Smarty Cowboy, man, you hit the nail on the head. And like I said, this is not a political stream. This just happened to go off the wayside here because we started talking about wages. Thanks, Jackie boy. I'm just saying, buddy. But you're exactly right. I don't like to be one of them people that walk in and, you click on some people check that top box like Republican Party, Democrat Party, or Independent Party. And it and it checks all the Democrats or all the Republicans or, I have to vote based on the person's relevancy of what I believe, right? That could be a Democrat, that could be a Republican, it could even be an independent. I mean, I don't really care what their political affiliation is, as long as I think they are out for the best interest of not only me. Now I look at my grandchildren. What are we leaving for the grandkids? I'm about done in this world. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm worried about my grandkids now. What's going to happen to them? 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road when they're raising their families. So I was listening to the XM channel 125 Patriot channel. They are describing how Germany is telling their own people to have 2 coats on and be prepared for horrible winters and lots of deaths. Very sad. That is very sad. Why would they say that? I mean, aren't there people in housing Or are you talking about the homelessness people now that we were discussing here a few minutes ago? Because, guys, that is just, it's out of control. I mean, and I used to think, I used to seriously believe, and I don't want to go over my time limit here, but I used to seriously believe that homelessness was the drug addicts, right? The alcoholics. You know, that's not true. That's just, it is. That's part of it. Or the crazily insane. That could be a part of it, right? And I tell everybody there's two words that should never go together, and that is American veteran and homeless. If you serve this country, damn it, give them a house. You serve the country. I don't understand that, you know. But it's not just that either. It's just people that get down on their luck and they can't afford rent. So they're living in their cars, man. I watched this one. They live in their cars. They have this secure parked area, which was kind of cool. There were some grants, so they set up like porta-johns for them, which is nice. And they set up portable showers so they can get showers and stuff there. And when you pull your car in there, the gates close. I think it's at 9 o'clock at night and they lock. And they want to keep criminals away from these people that are trying to do their very best they can do to get back on their feet. In the morning, they get up, they brush their teeth, they take a shower, they take that same car, fold their blankets up, and they drive to their job. There's IT professionals. There was a doctor there. This is in California. Residency doctor, couldn't afford an apartment. It's so strange to me, man. I don't know. Let's go down through these a little bit more here. DGC is on his way back soon. 24 Harley Davidson Ultra Limited named Eric, Real Jackie Boy. Anyone else here? Rod. Well, no worries to HDR. My grandchildren. Right. We always got to think about the grandchildren. Europe is having trouble getting heating fuel because of Russia. Oh, okay, Chuck, I see. Oh, man. I never would have guessed that, you know. Germany is shutting down nuclear reactors also. But can we send billions to Pete? Can we send billions to the Ukraine? You know, I could go on for hours about the Ukraine, you know, and I guess as you get older and you guys are getting, you know, around my age, some of you are a little bit older than I am, we see the world through different eyes. And, you know, I don't know, man, this Putin guy is a pain in the ass, and he's just freaking out everybody. Everybody's so scared of this guy. I mean, what is he, the devil? Is he the demon? You know, blow his shit up, man. You know, send a couple missiles into his palace and just blow him up. Bye-bye, bad guy. But we don't, you know, we don't do that. We want to prolong a war because there's money to be made in the warmonger chain, right? We know how that works, right? So, I mean, like I said, I was in the military, guys. I seen the stamps on my clothing. I know where it comes from. I know who makes it. And there's money in that. There's money in wars. So, Jackie Boy, we didn't discuss shopping. We didn't discuss stopping hitting the fire up HDR button. It's the like button. Yeah, there you go. Bodine52, good morning to you, man. Hit that like button. Thanks, everybody, for liking it. Bodine, I could have used you earlier. We were talking finances, and you and Bronco Rider kind of my financial go-to guys. The economy was big today on this hour of power chat that we had here about motorcycles. So how does the motorcycle community fit into the finance swing of things? Well, you know, it's all churning upward. Let's just say that. Let's just say if you want a motorcycle right now and you're looking for a Harley Davidson, call Ty from Tennessee and buy his CVO. That's going to be your best bargain for your buck, right? Don't go to the Harley dealer and buy it. Buy it from Ty, and you'll be happy that you did. And tell Ty when you go there, HDR sent you. Thank you for your support. I'm going to go ride today, 2 weeks after surgery. It's been 2 months since I've been out on the bike. Dusty Chronicles, good morning to you also. Let's see here. Have a great day hunting, Bodine. Yeah, Bodine, good luck, man, in the woods. I hope you get that nice, 12-point buck. That'd be really nice. Definitely nice to see. I love politics, but I'm open-minded. What you say may change. What you say may change, but I love talking politics. People who don't get pissed at my views either. I love discussion, not a fight. Lovely Luella, you are exactly right. And I don't say anything about anybody for any reason to ever pick a fight. Everybody has their own political views, And I did not give you any of my political views, just my personal thoughts, what I think. This head is covered by a very large hat today because there's a lot of weird things that go on in there. So I got to protect it with this very large hat. And, you know, politics is one of the things that just, I don't know. If all the smart people are in the Senate and the House and the presidency and the White House or whatever you're looking at, and these are all the smartest people that we have to run this country, why in the hell is inflation going through the roof so bad that the common ordinary man can't keep a roof over his head? And a lot of families are going hungry and can't provide food to put on the table for their kids. Do we have trouble? Amen, we have trouble. How do you fix it? I don't know. I'm not one of those very smart, intelligent people sitting in the House and the Congress. They have to fix it, right? That's why we put them there. That's why they're getting paid. So I hope somebody can hit the fix button sooner or later. Who knows? I don't know. Bob's fixing it today. Bob's going out to kill a deer, and he's going to have deer chops. So I don't have to worry about it. But anyway. Eisenhower warned us against the military industrial complex. Pete's 1800 said, yeah, it is. Wars make money for a lot of people. You know, it costs a lot of money to make bombs. It costs a lot of money to equip soldiers, man. I was in the field, right? 12 years of being in the military. There's times I was in the field, and there's a lot of equipment you need to take care of a lot of soldiers when you're out there, when you're deployed out there somewhere. You know, and a lot of people are making the money from that. And it's sad. Life is more important than all the money in the world. Remember, I told you that. Life is more important than all the money in the world. So enjoy your life. Take every day. Ride your motorcycles. Man, that's the absolute best freedoms that we have. Getting out there on our motorcycles. HDR, we don't want to know if your brain and what your hat is covering. Hey, my hat is covering my brain. So, William Buck, the thing to do is to be smartest man in the room. And I said that too, William. I said that when I ran my own company. I told my business partners, I said, we don't have to be the smartest person in the company. We have to be smart enough to hire the smartest person so our competition don't get them. That's what we did. We hired some smart people to help us run the business with places that we didn't understand what we were doing. And it worked out really, really well for us that way. So, if Bodine gets a deer, I think he should send us all some deer jerky. Real Jackie boy, you're exactly right. Bob, did you hear that? If you get a deer, you have to get deer jerky made and send everybody a pack of deer jerky. That would be wonderful. Getting work done on the Indian. I need to do a long, long ride. Paul, you're exactly right. I'd like to get out and do a ride. Also today, we are having our annual or semi-annual, maybe we do it twice a year, fish fry. We have 60 crappie that we caught over the fishing season. Bad news for all the fishermen out there, my fishing buddies, is myself and Mrs. HDR Wednesday put the boat to rest. We put the boat back down beside the garage. I can go down today, take the new trolling motor off of it, pull the battery out of the boat. The gas engine's already in the basement, so we took the gas engine off Wednesday. And then I got to put the double tarp on it today and seal it up for winter. But she's been a joy. The boat has been a joy. Fishing has been absolutely amazing this year. Like I said, we got 60 or 65 crappie in the freezer. And if you've never eaten a crappie fish before, that sounds really ridiculous. Huh? If you've never tasted crap like this crappie fish, no, it's a crappie, right? Or a crappie, we call them. Absolute amazing white fish, man. Just absolutely taste amazing. So we're going to have a fish fry today. We have a bunch of friends coming over. We're going to have a couple cases of beer. And, of course, we're going to have some good old American honey whiskey. Can't beat fish and whiskey. Let's see here. Smart Cowboy took my daughter on the Spider last night to watch a high school football game. She graduated in 2005. She loves to ride. Smarty Cowboy, maybe she'll get her own. Maybe she'll get her own one day and start riding with you guys. That'd be awesome. William Buck Brown, Mr. Paul, I sold my Chieftain. I went to pick up a new Chief from him. Wow, okay, so you're getting a new Indian there, William. Congratulations for you, man. Absolutely. I love Indian motorcycles, man. So, HDR Charles says, fish fry. Man, it's going to be a good one today. I got to go down and make the coleslaw. We got a bunch of stuff to do, and I wanted to get one of the motorcycles out and take it for a spin today, but I think if I do Mrs. HR, I might just like chop my feet off or something so I can't ride, because a lot of this fish fry thing was my idea. And, she ends up getting the house ready, but I gotta and we always have it in the garage. It's a big garage party. So we're going to pull the cars out of the garage. We transform the garage into a party hub. And we go down and we'll just have a really good time. So, but again, everybody, thanks for listening to these political views. Again, anything that I talk about on this show, any of the political stuff that I may bring up, and don't ever get me wrong, if you watch this until the end, that I've never told anybody not to vote. I'm just giving you my views on voting, what I personally feel. I don't know. I'm one guy in a mass of 40 million people here in the U.S. I'm one guy. So what I can tell you, though, is all those views are just expressed by myself. These are just thoughts that I have. You should have your own thoughts. You should pick your party that you want to do the best for you, what you believe in. So, but I do appreciate everybody watching this great motorcycle channel today that we didn't really talk a whole lot about motorcycle riding except this. When you get out there and ride your motorcycles, remember this. And remember, I tell you this at the after end of every one of my vlogs. Folks, ride your own ride. Live your own life. Be safe out there on the road. And I will talk to you next week. Hopefully you'll come back and give me a thumbs up on this one, guys. I'm going to need the help this week to be like, I hope I didn't say anything too bad or too wrong. And sorry about that. But, guys, we need the cost of living. We need the economy fixed, and we need it fixed fast. Take care, everybody, and I will talk to you next week. Again, thank you so much for joining me here each and every Saturday. Take care, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now, everybody.
Good morning. This is Peter Ryder, PA, out here in beautiful Kentucky. This is Morning Coffee with HDR. Enjoy the show.